Hey, it's Caroline. Welcome to the shop. Today I'll be demonstrating how we get two metals onto one ring. In order to join different types of metals together, you'll need to solder. The three most important parts of soldering requires clean surfaces, a tight fit, and just the right amount of heat. To show you this process, we're going to zoom in, see if you can catch the solder flow. Gold melts at a much lower temperature than platinum, so I've brushed on a little bit of boric acid to protect it from my torch. I'm going to start by heating up my bits of solder down here on my gold soldering pad, which is different than my platinum soldering pad. I don't want any cross-contamination between the two for future projects. It's going to get a little loud in here for ventilation purposes, but I'm going to light up my torch and start applying some heat. I'm going to start heating up my bits of gold solder to be using. This solder is essentially like glue to adhere to both metals. Next, I'm going to start picking up my solder with my solder pick and placing it where I want it to flow. I'm careful that I am heating up the platinum surrounding it because I want the gold to fuse to the platinum. I'm going to get my torch to be hissing a little louder and hotter now. I like to be able to hear this to ensure that I have a harsh oxidizing flame. It'll be less for me to have to worry and clean up later. Right now I'm really heating up this platinum because I want my gold to fuse to my platinum without melting the gold. It's going to be quick from now on because this solder here has just begun to start to melt. So I'm going to carefully continue around the edges of the bezel to try to get that solder to move all the way around the perimeter. So my solder has flowed around the edge of this bezel, and to really ensure a good solder join, I'm going to flip my torch from the underside and try to pull that solder with the help of gravity. So I've checked my work to make sure that my solder join goes all the way around the outside edge of this bezel, and I'm done. I know I did a good job soldering because it flowed all the way around my bezel. I'm going to let this piece cool down because it's really hot, and then I'm going to stick it into the pickle, which is a hot acid that will clean the piece. I'm pulling my piece out of the pickle. It's nice and clean for me to continue to work on, setting my stones and giving it a good polish. Thanks for joining us behind the bench.